I was pretty fortunate in my personal experience growing up as a black soccer player. I think I look back on my youth career pretty fondly. I made a lot of good friends and teammates and were coached by some brilliant minds, and I'm very thankful for that. I think now that I'm older as a pro, I kind of look back at that time in my life and just notice that there weren't a whole lot of people like me in high positions. So not a lot of black head coaches or coaches in general, or front office, things of that nature. So on every team, I was one of maybe two, maybe three black players, and I think that changed when I got to college, where it was a little bit more, maybe 5, 6. And same thing as a pro, but the consistency of the lack of black men, women, and minorities in general in positions of power, really. Like I said, head coaches, front office positions, is still lacking. So I think the way it kind of shapes who I am now is I want to be able to kind of bridge the gap, help bridge the gap, and do whatever I can to bring up the issue and also address it, and kind of be a catalyst for change for years to come. Sure, there's definitely frustration, and I think not just myself, but multiple people can see that, again, there are brilliant minds out there, of people of color or marginalized people, and you wonder why aren't they in these positions? So it's definitely frustrating to see, but again, like you said, you can't be defeated by it. And if anything, it's more of a motivating factor to provide change in that area. I don't think their position can be overstated. The Black Players Alliance kind of, like you said, it exists to, one, bring up the issues and discuss them and shed light on them, but ultimately to take action and be the catalyst for change, and make sure, provide the education resources for everyone involved. And again, that's not just for black players, it's totally inclusive. It's for whoever wants to support the movement. And I think the Black Players Alliance is the beginning of what's to come and what's going to happen in the future. I think it's a very strong foundation, and definitely have plans to kind of spearhead this and drive it forward. It's really special for me to be on the ground floor. I think, especially for 2020 as a year, we saw with the pandemic and a lot of racial injustice type things were brought to the forefront. And I think people are passionate about whatever issue, whatever it may be, but it kind of falls short there. They're passionate about it, they may say something about it, but ultimately action is where they fall short. So for me, the BPA was kind of a tailor-made opportunity for action. Like, it was something where you can get in and meet all these great people, great players, and brainstorm and talk about ways to move things forward. So to be a part of something like that will create change for years to come, change the league, change how things are viewed in general, it's pretty awesome. With anything, kind of it being grassroots, being driven by maybe people not as high up on the tier, I think that's how change is affected. I think it's from the ground up. I think that's kind of where the masses are. So I think there's a greater opportunity for change there. And ultimately, it's for the people that are being marginalized, for them to speak up and then gain the support. It's important for them to kind of spearhead their own change. Again, the BPA was an opportunity for me to kind of deliver on my thoughts and words, and to get with a group of kind of like-minded individuals, but still very diverse in thinking within the group, to bounce ideas off each other and get on the same page and create ideas to achieve our goals. I think my message would be that no matter what anyone tells you, you have value, and that can't be taken away from you. And you know, it's great that you are where you are today, but you can't be complacent. And no matter where this movement is 10 years from now, it has to keep going. It has to be the next wave of players. You have such a limited time as an athlete to use that platform in that window. So I think while you are in that position, you definitely use it. And even beyond that, when you are retired and move on to the next phase of life, it's something that you can still be involved in and keep fighting for. I mean, I think it's really important. I think if you break it down to the basics, you know, we as athletes are on some sort of screen at all times. You know, there is an audience there. So I think that's an opportunity to use your platform for things beyond the game, things that are bigger than the game. And I think that's just kind of where it starts. And I think that's what gets the ball rolling. Yeah, I mean, obviously I love to be on the pitch and do my thing, but off the pitch, I think I'm a guy that's just always trying to learn. That's for personal growth and personal reasons, but to also be, I think, the kind of education piece comes first, and so that I can know my stuff, but also speak on it, and therefore I think I'm better prepared to deliver on it. I also have, you know, ambitions to, you know, potentially be in a front office setting whenever my career is done. I've also worked in the corporate world. I worked for Compass Group in their Canteen North America sector. I was an innovation and growth team member for almost 2 years while I was playing, and I was working remotely. So that's a different kind of perspective on life outside of soccer and being in business, and I think that's a valuable experience, and I loved my time there and doing what I did, and I think that only adds to my knowledge base and what I can do in the future.